welcome on stage our first referee of this final Sunday here in Krakow. It's Owen Binks!
Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Pole and Darts Open. We have some of the biggest names in the game fighting it out for the title, and the biggest one of the lot is the world #1 and world champion, Luke the Nuke Littler. How do you follow up such a brilliant display yesterday? We're about to find out as he faces Ross Smith, who was very, very good himself in overcoming Daryl Gurney. Four-time winner on the Euro Tour, Luke Littler. In his first 2 years on the tour, won the opening European Tour event of the year on both occasions, and then backed it up with another one later on in the year. 4 wins, only 13 appearances on the European Tour. Ross Smith has played an awful lot more and is yet to get his hands on a Euro Tour title, but 3 times he has gone all the way to the final. He has beaten Luke Littler. It was their first meeting, a floor event. The subsequent 6 have all gone the way of the Nuke. They've all been on big stages, some very big ones, and Ross Smith has played some world-class darts against him, but just hasn't found a way to beat him. Is today the day that Smudger can get it done, extract the Nuke from the tournament, and blow this thing wide open? Paul Nicholson alongside me for the opening game of the day. It is the Nuke and Smudger to be the first man through to the quarterfinals tonight.
Yeah, very good afternoon, Dan. And I think it's fair to say that the deck is stacked against Ross Smith here this afternoon for many reasons.
58.
You mentioned those 6 consecutive victories for Littler. The way he's played in those 6 games, terrifying. He's never
56.
lost in the opening European Tour event of his career. But we're not in Belgium anymore, we're in Poland, and he's won here before. On the World Series, and the only other 2 players who have done that didn't show up this weekend in Michael van Gerwen and Gerwyn Price. So,
55.
from a black and white paper perspective, it feels as if Littler is destined to win this one. But if Ross Smith can find the maximums at the same sort of ratio as he has done this year, he's got a chance.
46.
Ross Smith is elite. He can beat anyone. He didn't have a great end to last year. All sorts of reasons for that. But do
99.
not think that Ross Smith is not going to have a big impact on the Euro Tour, and indeed lots of things this year. He is a phenomenal dart player.
I think the biggest thing to start with, does he believe he can beat this kid?
60.
I think he was doing an interview with some of the content creators yesterday and saying, look, yeah, all right, I keep losing to him. I've played well. And he has. You look at the numbers. The last 3 times he's played him, he's averaged 102 twice and 106. And he's got close to beating him. You know, there's a 10-8 defeat and 11-9 defeat on big TV stages.
I actually think that Littler understands how good Ross Smith is. That's why he plays so well against him.
131.
One time, Littler did not average 100 against Ross Smith. He lost.
Certainly not averaging 100 at the minute. This has been a very slow start to the game.
66.
Left himself tops. He's had 6 visits to the board. 1 dart for Ross Smith to get an early break. Finds it just about. Ross Smith takes the lead.
Second hand, it's Ross to throw first. Game on.
He'll take it. I'm sure that when that left his hand, he thought, that's not going in. But it found a way. Now that he's got the lead, albeit very early, can he keep it? There's going to be a blitz from Littler at some point.
131.
Can he weather the storm when it comes? He was excellent yesterday, wasn't he, against Gurney? 6-1 victory.
99.
They both had 6-1 victories. He's not here anymore, courtesy of the world #2, Luke Humphries, and that's why this crowd might be a little bit quieter today.
Here we go. Hit 5 of those yesterday against Daryl Gurney in just the 7 legs.
81.
How much do you think Ross has learned from those 3 finals?
It's a good question, and it's difficult. as with
97.
anything,
Russia
whatever
required
happens,
90.
good or bad, it's how you react to it. 2 left. Nice and high.
58.
That will do. This is a luxury that you rarely get against Littler, where you're getting chances to set up from here.
Absolutely right. I think the one thing he's
64.
learned
Russia required
in 3 finals
32.
is maybe how to pace himself throughout the course of a day, and if he gets to the final, he might need a bit of extra energy, and he's going to need some extra height here. Well, this one being thrown from the east side,
No score.
and now Littler's got a chance to equalise. It's a very tough
160.
shot, all depending on where the first dart goes.
It's not happening. That is Luke Littler's first score of 100.
Russia required
before this
32.
match. Is that right? That can't be right. Double 8 for Ross Smith for a 2-0 lead.
Game show the second leg. Ross Smith grabbing his loop to throw first. Game on.
If your supersonic opponent is having a bad start, you've got to get on it.
93.
There's thumbs up there from Smith to the audience, who were giving him the old build-up vocally, but he was still able to get that second leg. This is not the game that we thought was going to happen, but there's still some
96.
time yet. And we know for a fact that Littler's okay with giving someone a head start.
Yes. Managed to win the match play despite doing it repeatedly.
140.
That's his first ton 40. Problem is, at the match play, when he kept letting people go 5-0 up or whatever, that's okay as a first to 16. It's not so good at a first to 6.
Well, let's say that Ross does go 5-0 up and it's a stack of maxes. And Littler was to win 6-5, would be in for a bit of a ride over the next 20 minutes.
Right, Littler is warming up, ton 40, ton 80, starting to find his targets.
65.
Smith gets
Luke
down to a
required
finish
88.
that does not require the bullseye.
48. Russia require 160.
Well, he didn't give himself an out on the bullseye at the end of that. Oh! Ross Smith tops for 3-0 and a double break to punish.
120. Luke required
Some
40.
shots you want to hit, and there's some you want to hit like that because of timing.
Game show the
Doesn't get it, and
third.
Littler gets away with like 3.
Full against Ross to throw first. Game on.
This one is getting very spicy.
Now, was that Luke Littler just doing what he wants because he thought that was the shot that he wanted
45.
and he backed himself to get a treble? Was he unaware that Smith was on a makeable finish? We don't know.
85.
I think he's been aware of every shot that every opponent's had against him in the last 5 years. I think he just plays this game the way he wants, with a great deal of logic, but every now and again, he will back
59.
himself. We've seen it from Michael van Gerwen on 90. When his opponent's maybe on a double or a small out, he'll go 18, double 18, double 18. He won't go 20s and ball.
90.
But at least that he's at least giving himself a double out. There is some. Look, we've seen players do that. Barney liked it. I remember Desvon doing it to Michael van Gerwen at the match play.
100.
But there is some thinking. But at least there is an out there. Well, it's a cold start from Littler, but things are warming up significantly.
Never lost in the first European Tour event of the season in his career. 11 games played, 11 wins.
180.
I wonder what kind of trouble he's got ahead of him. I get the feeling that Smith is going to have to take that 117 away.
96. Russia require
Oh, well, he's
170.
left 90. Let's see what he does with 90 if he gets a look.
19. Get it.
57. Luke, you're
It's not going to be
required
18s,
90.
we know that. He hates 18s.
Loves double 15 though.
Game show the fourth.
We have a level game here.
Luke Littler.
There's a 14 darter from Luke Littler, and he has gone from
Game on.
looking really sluggish to now in the box seat in this game.
over the course of the season,
97.
we might be seeing Littler a lot in this spot. First game of the Sunday afternoon, but it gets jumbled up, doesn't it? They somewhat invert the draw bracket to make it fair over the course of a 15 European Tour season.
Yeah, he's not being shifted from the #1 spot in the world rankings, so if he turns up to Euro Tours, he will be the #1 seed, which means at this stage, if he reaches it, he'll be first on all our starts. Or first on or fifth on, I should say.
And next month he'll be looking to defend that Belgian Darts Open in Weasel, where he's never
96.
lost. Last year he did the Belgian double, didn't he? Got the Flanders as well.
140.
Well, that visit means that Luke Littler's average is now just gone over the ton mark.
It's amazing how quickly he can change a cold start into something like this. Nobody in the world does that apart from him.
44.
I did see online, I was telling you yesterday, wasn't I? I think people are starting to cotton on to leaving double 15 more. So Joe Cheney of the United States do a 141 and double 15 the other day.
You say cotton on like it's a great plan.
Game show the fifth.
It's a great, anything's a great plan if you look Littler, because you hit things. But
Game on.
I'm still not convinced it's the most sensible board management, but when you Luke Littler and you can just, you're going 90% on the doubles so far this weekend. He has missed one, which he took out in that visit anyway.
If I may be brutally honest, some dart players are like sheep. If they see someone who does it really well, they're going to try it, whether it's footwear, a piece of equipment, or an out route. It's as simple as that. Oh, I'll try that because somebody who's successful is doing it. Double 15 is perilous, but Littler's making it look
96.
attractive.
There are fashions and ways of playing the game. Yeah, the double-double finish was considered flashy. Now it's considered standard in certain
99.
situations. And ultimately, it all comes down to data and probability and stats. And that is something where these two, very, very different. Littler plays on vibes, what he feels like. Ross Smith is a devotee
58.
of statistics and probability. He believes that he can get an extra % or something out of himself by making the statistical probability right decisions. Unfortunately, he keeps coming up against Littler, who keeps throwing big ton plus averages against him, and that 1% has not been enough to overhaul him as yet.
Yeah, and that stretch of 6 matches, the lowest
59.
average that Littler's had is
Look, you require
103.3.
164.
This is about 3% down on that so far. But the critical thing in this game is that Smith is not getting to the doubles
94.
or indeed the finishes before Littler in the last 5 minutes. The thing is, this game is nearly 11 minutes long. Littler was done by this time against the Decker yesterday.
140. Look, you require
Littler's brilliant
70.
finishing continue. Tops.
Game
Yes, it
show the
does.
sixth
This is
flag.
astonishing
Luke
finishing
Littler.
from Luke Littler.
7th flag is Luke to
You know what he's done in the
first.
tournament now?
Game on.
10 out of 11. That's what Johnny Clayton did in the Masters 5 years ago against James Wade.
Well, look, you can point to a number
60.
of European tours where there's been some amazing finishing. Everybody will immediately think of Ricardo Pietrezco winning in Hildesheim. That final session where he hit 15 darts at double in a row.
180.
But Luke Littler is currently 4 out of 5 in this game after 6 out of 6 yesterday. And he's adding the 180s and it becomes a very potent mix.
There's already 8 180s in this game. If Smith can get back into it a little bit,
58.
we could be cruising into double figures. A bit like the first game of the tournament, when Menzies had 9.
94.
Just doesn't panic, does he? Bad start, 2-0 down. Some players would say, uh-oh, it's not going to be my day.
57. Look, you
Littler
require
just brushes it off and says,
167.
right, I'll fix it then. Hasn't lost a leg since.
Going for it. Is he going for it?
140.
The First time this
42.
weekend he has had a dart at double in a visit and he has not taken out the checkout. And the only reason that happened because he was being flash and going for a 167 he didn't need.
100.
You know where he's going
Required
now.
25.
Big 5. Well, that is the problem
50.
sometimes with going
Russia
that route.
require 106.
He's got a dart in the way of double 5, and Ross Smith might get back within 1. This is a must.
Double 16 to stop this run of legs. And it would have broken.
74.
Littler would be back on throw.
Look,
It is his
require
first dart at
10.
double since leg 3. Ross Smith misses. Littler steps up and makes it
Game, show the
5-2.
seventh
It's
leg.
5 legs on the
Luke
spin.
Littler. 8 leggers Ross to throw first. Game on.
At the start of the match, I said, does Ross Smith believe that he can win this game? Let's crank it up a notch. Does he believe he can win from this position?
Look at that.
27.
Look, it is good. He's averaging 99. He's finished brilliantly. But Luke Littler there, he has managed to break Ross Smith twice, where Ross has had 15 darts in the leg. And if you're going to beat Littler, you're going to have to hold your throw in 5
140.
visits on a regular basis. Had he done so, he'd be 4-3 up in this game.
Ross is on a bit of a losing streak in the last 16 of European Tour events as well. Hasn't made the quarterfinals since the Austrian Darts Open last year, where he made the final.
39.
A casual one there from Littler. It's rejected from the board. We saw some comebacks yesterday. Luke Woodhouse with a fabulous one against Callan Rydz. Christoph Ratajski
137.
nearly pulled off a fabulous one against Luke Humphries, but this would be a special comeback from Ross Smith to win the next 4 legs and win the match. Not sure it's going to happen, though.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I've seen a comeback from Peter Wright against Littler in a final in Hildesheim. But that was a very different situation to this, and it was also a longer game.
140. Luke require 142.
Does he stay there? He does for double 11.
120.
And it's a match start missed by Luke Littler. Ross Smith has one of the hardest checkouts in the game just to stay in the tournament.
And Littler was annoyed at missing that double 11. But he's going to get another crack at it to be the first person through to the quarterfinals to keep this
59.
first
Luke
European
required
Tour
22.
event record alive.
Splits it. Hits it, and that is 6 legs on the spin for Luke the Nuke Littler. Ross Smith all over him, making the most of a sluggish start for the world #1. But when he moved through the gears, Ross Smith could not stop him. Nobody stopped this lap in the opening European Tour event of the year for the last 2 years. Who can stop him today in Krakow?